Hey everybody, it's Cliff from Power Up Book. I wrote an entire script for the Millionaire Mindset and I tried recording it and it was awful. It was absolutely terrible. I sounded like a robot and there was just no passion or anything in it. So I'm gonna try something new with this video and I'm gonna talk differently and in a different manner and in a way that I actually was trained public speaking. So I'm just gonna, in some ways, I'm just gonna wing it here and just be honest and talk about these concepts and why these are important to you if you want to become a millionaire and or beyond and adopt that millionaire mindset. And it sounds really stupid and cliche. To be honest, I actually hate a lot of this type of stuff. I call it the entrepreneurship cult. I don't like this like positive affirmation, you know, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich, which everyone just raves about. You've got to read it. You just need to read it. It's by Napoleon Hill. It's so amazing. I read it and I just didn't understand it. I didn't get it. But with that being said, the millionaire mindset is a big deal because if you're going to become an entrepreneur, you have to think differently. You have to act differently. You have to see yourself differently in so many ways. And it starts with these concepts I'm going to talk about in this video. So the first one is self-awareness. What this means is you have to see yourself differently. For a millionaire mindset, you need to see yourself as someone who can get something done, who can accomplish things, who can try things, who can overcome fear. These are the ways you need to see yourself. You don't have room to see yourself as a victim. Life isn't fair, but that doesn't mean that you can't become successful. What's amazing about this is that you can become successful and even wealthy despite life not being fair. So we have to ditch the victimization. We have to get out of these things that are keeping us down. We have to get out of the self-doubt. We have to get out of the emotions and feelings that we're not good enough or that we don't deserve it. Because the reality is that if you put the work in and you work hard and work smart and are passionate, you do deserve that success. If you're willing to do what most people are not going to do, you absolutely deserve success. And that's what the millionaire mindset is about. That's what entrepreneurship is about. It's about doing things that no one else will do, that many other people don't want to do. That's just your self-awareness. That's the start of all of this. To have a millionaire mindset is to be self-aware that I can do these things. My life isn't going great, but I can still accomplish things. And I still have the capacity to grow and be successful. You have to overcome those feelings of self-doubt. You have to overcome the fear of failure. You have to be willing to do something. But it starts with you believing in yourself that you are capable of doing something. The next up is principles. You have to have principles as an entrepreneur. And what I mean by principles, it is things that you are going to stand by. You have to have principles. You're going to be honest with people. You're going to work hard for people. You're going to work hard to build yourself and to build your brand. Those are the principles that will drive you. By embracing these principles, that will change your identity day to day. So your principles should be finding ways to work smart, finding ways to help people, finding ways to leverage your business and your brand. Another principle I will add is being a servant, having a servant's heart. I don't mean being a servant as in serving people per se, as a slave or, being controlled or manipulated. What I mean is you have a servant's heart. You see other people and you care about what they need and what they want, and you build your business and your personal brand around that principle of taking care of what those needs are. Because I guarantee you, if your business is about your community and your customers and taking care of their needs, you will be successful. Next is prioritization. This is when you wake up in the day and you decide, what am I going to do with my day? Right? Maybe you've gone to school, maybe you've gone to work, and you come home and you decide, okay, what am I going to do now? Maybe it's 8 o'clock at night and you're thinking, I can watch Netflix or I can work on my business, right? Prioritization. What is your bigger priority? Is entertainment and diversion and fun and scrolling on social media, is that more of a priority to you than building your business? You're going to have to make that decision, and you're going to have to make that decision every day on what is more important. Now, there's a way to have both. That's work-life balance. The way to have both is work-life balance. But you're going to have to make a decision to do something. And what is your priority? Is your priority to have fun that day? Or is your priority to build a business and build your future? You have to make a decision on what that priority is. And it's not easy. No one says it's easy. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. But it's not easy. And that leads right into discipline. This is the next concept. See, motivation is being inspired to do something every day, or wanting to do something, or build a business, or start a business. The discipline is actually executing on that, doing something. I'll give you a good example. Let's say you don't want to do your business taxes, or you don't want to create a marketing funnel, or whatever it is you don't want to do. The fact that you do it despite not wanting to do it, that's definitely a great win in motivation and discipline. You're disciplined enough to do it. You're disciplined enough to stick by your principles. Disciplined enough to make a priority of what you want to do as an entrepreneur to build your business. That takes discipline. And discipline is what most people struggle with, right? We see it with staying healthy, eating right, exercising. People struggle all the time with discipline. And it's the same thing with being an entrepreneur and starting a business. Being disciplined to work on it every day, to do the things that you may not feel comfortable with, that are really outside of your comfort zone. It takes discipline, and it takes days of doing this, maybe even months, to build up that discipline. But you can do it. That's part of the millionaire mindset. Next is process. For process, part of the millionaire mindset is you've got a process of how you're going to do things, how you're going to reach out to people, how you're going to manage your business, what your priorities are. That's part of your process as well. And if it helps for you to write this down and write these things down for what your process is going to be, that's great. But it takes time every day working on what that process is going to be. And it takes a lot of testing to find out what works with that process. What inspires you the most? What gives you the most return on your social media or sales? That is part of your process. Understanding how to build business and how to grow business is all part of that process. And there are endless videos on how to do that, and everyone's got their magic way, or that they're going to sell you a course on what that process is. But really, in the end, you're going to learn best by just diving in and starting, because you're going to find what process works for you. Just get started. You can get help as you go. But you can't just sit there and wait all day long and day after day and trying to learn more and think, I need to figure out what the process is going to be. You learn the best when you get in and start doing it. Here's some more traits that are part of the millionaire mindset. Individual thinker. Now, this is a big one, okay? Entrepreneurs, we do not go with the flow, all right? The safe bet is to go to school, get a good education, and get a job for a good company. There's nothing wrong with that, but that is what the majority of people do. That's where the majority of people are comfortable. And if you want to do something different and unique, you're going to hit resistance from people. People are going to say awful and mean things. They're going to say stupid things. They're going to say discouraging things to you. That's not really a good idea. You know, I've heard of someone doing that and it didn't work out. This is not a good business. Why don't you do this business instead? You know what you should do. You know what you shouldn't do. Whatever it is, you're just going to hear it over and over from people. It's a pain of being an individual thinker. Entrepreneurs, millionaire mindset, we are individual thinkers. We set our own goals, our own process, our own priorities, and it will be against what a lot of the people in the common business world want to do or think that you should do. You have to ignore those people. You have to push them out of your mind and just not let them affect you that way. But I need you to prepare for that emotionally. I need you to be prepared for the resistance you're going to get from people when you're an entrepreneur. And this scares a lot of people. They don't want to tell people that they're entrepreneurs. They don't want to tell people that they're working on their dreams. Because people, when they see you work on a dream, they get mad a lot of the time. You know why they get mad? They get mad because you're doing something that they haven't done or never would do or are afraid to do. And they're upset and they're jealous and they want to see you fail because they've either failed because they had never done anything or they've tried and failed and gave up. Be prepared for that. Don't listen to those people. Be bold and share what you're doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm an entrepreneur. I am working on something. Well, if someone's going to say, well, I don't think that's a great idea. Well, whatever. That's really stupid. People are going to say dumb things. They're going to say negative things. And you can either get into an argument with them and waste a lot of emotional energy, or you can just say, you know what? That's great. I appreciate your opinion. You know, if it's on social media or if you're talking to someone, you can say, well, I just let you know what I'm doing. Best of luck to you, right? You don't have to please people. You've got to not be a people pleaser when you're an entrepreneur, because you're not going to be a people pleaser. Now, you please the right people. You please your customers, right? You please other businesses that you want to partner with. That is a great way to please people. But pleasing people in your life that are just negative, or on the internet particularly, that will say mean things when you put yourself out there, that's not reality. You're working that business. That's your reality. Those people want to pull you into their world of negativity. And that's not the millionaire mindset. The millionaire mindset is to continue on despite those. And believe me, I have dealt with those things. When I launched my first Kickstarter, I had people saying things about me online, saying I was a crook, that I was trying to steal money, questioning why I should even do it. It felt very personal. And when you put yourself out there in entrepreneurship, those kind of things will happen. People will start to dig and figure out what you're about. And I can't say that's real easy to go through, but I'll tell you, after you've gone through it once, no one can control you. No one can scare you. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay. But you still proceed ahead of that, and you work through it, and you find a good community and good people that will hold you up and encourage you. That's why I formed my community. I want to help other people. My first time with my first company, I went about this all on my own. And I had a lot of moments where I felt alone and upset and scared. I know many of you are going to be going through that. And you don't have to be alone. Being a successful entrepreneur is surrounding yourself also with positive people that will help you out, that will support you. And they're not going to say those mean things to you. Here's the next part of the millionaire mindset. It's skills. It's knowing your skills, knowing what you're good at, and more importantly, what you need help with. I'll give you an example. I am not a marketing guy. I have a master's in business, and I am still not an expert on marketing. That's something I need help with. So you bet I'm going to go to people to get help with that. I don't have skills in that. So know what your skills are, because I talk about this in my other video about how to build your dream business on your passion. You need your skills. You need to know what you're good at. Are you good at presentation? Are you good at writing? Are you good at coding? Whatever it is that you're good at, be honest with yourself about what you're good at, and honest with yourself about what you need help with. Entrepreneurs try to do everything on their own, and they do things outside of their skill range, myself included. And it turns out we need help with things, and that's okay. It's okay to hire other people to help you. I hired someone to build a simple landing page for me, and it was very simple. Maybe I could have done it myself, but I'm not skilled at that. So know your skills. The next thing is passion. Know what you're passionate about. Most entrepreneurs have an incredible story about starting businesses and companies and solutions that they were passionate about. And that can be just about anything. But what I don't want to see is I'm going to sit around and think, oh, this is a good idea for a business, but I don't really care less about this kind of thing. But I'm just going to devote hours a day to this and get into this, but even though I don't have any passion about it. I think that's a terrible idea. And I think a lot of people out there will try to argue with you on the internet and say passion is worthless. You just need to pursue money-making options. And I'll say this again, if you want to make more money and without passion, then just get a higher paying job or work towards a higher paying career, because they have to pay us to be there to work those careers, because we don't have that built-in passion. We have skills, but we're not passionate about it. We don't do it for free. We don't spend our free time working on those careers, right? So why would you do that for your own entrepreneurship business? You have to build this business around your passion. Don't fall for that bad advice. Know what you like, what you're into. And no matter what it is, there's probably an opportunity for you to make money out there doing that. Building a business around that passion. Again, this is in my other video, skills and passion. Those are two cornerstones of how I coach everyone to build their business. Next up is investment. You want to invest time, you may have to invest some money. Now, I coach people to start up businesses based on skills, passion, market need, right? We want to know that it's going to do well because there's a market for it. But the investment, we don't really need to have a lot of money to start. But what you will be investing in is time. You're going to be investing time and emotion, right? You're going to be working on this every day, and you're going to be working on things that maybe don't cost you a lot of money. But if you're creating content and reaching out to people and really trying to get something going, that is an investment. And yes, at some point you might have to write a check you never imagined you write a check. I wrote a check that was well beyond anything I've ever written a check for when I went into my first business and my first product that I got manufactured. It was a real gut check to know what I was dealing with, and I pushed through it. But it was a real question of whether I was really serious about this. And if you're really serious about this, you will invest your time, and you will have discipline in investing that time every day, right? With those priorities. Okay, the final skill I'm going to touch on in this video is salesmanship. This is not salesmanship as in selling a used car or forcing someone, to close them, to sign a dotted line. This is not that kind of salesmanship. Ultimately, yes, you do need to close people to give you business. But the type of salesmanship that I teach and that I practice is a consultative style, where you're going to spend most of your time listening. And when you listen to other people's problems and learn so much about them, you start to figure out what their needs are and how your product or service can address those needs. After you've listened to them, then you can present your solution and ask how they feel. And if they feel good about it, then you say, okay, well, why don't we get started? It's that easy. It's not this dotted line. It's not this high pressure thing. Don't be scared of sales. Salesmanship is mainly consulting. It's mainly knowing what people's problems are and serving people, helping them out. Everyone should feel good about the sales process. But salesmanship is also not being afraid to reach out to people and schedule appointments or calls to visit them. There's skills in reaching out to other companies, trying to get some time in front of that person or that customer that it is you need to see. It's worth it. And yeah, some people may say no, and that's okay. It just takes time to build this up. But when you have your passion, when you have your discipline, when you have a self-awareness of who you are, you're an individual thinker, you will not be intimidated by reaching out to people. You'll be able to do it. It takes small steps, and there's different ways to do it to reach out to people. But salesmanship, if you can study it somehow, watch some videos on it, or ask me more questions about it in the comments or in my community in the Skool app, I'll put a link to that in this video. Those things will help you greatly. You wrap all of this together, that is the millionaire mindset. And I hope this helps you get started. I hope this helps you grow. I hope this helps you get engaged and to believe that a lot of great things are possible for you. But these are the foundational parts. These are the basics. This is the mindset you need to be in before you start. I'd love to hear back from you. Please join my community, comment, subscribe to my channel. I want to help you. I've been doing this a while. I have 2 other companies that I own, and all your feelings and emotions and everything you've been through, I can definitely understand. Most likely all of it. I want to thank you for watching, and keep powering up.